The United National Party convened a media briefing this morning. Parliamentarian Harin Fernando presided at the briefing.
The district is Ampara, the divisional secretariat area is Lahugala, the Grama Seva Vasam is Shastravala. 1,200 acres in Panama consisting of farmland, forest land and wetland have been forcibly taken over by the Navy and the Special Task Force. There are 1,925 families in this area. These villages have been in existence since 1818. There are ancient artifacts in the area. There are 2 ancient scrolls. Now boards have been erected in the area stating that it is the property of the Navy and prohibiting entry. There were fishermen, freshwater fishermen and farmers residing in the area. There were a large number of people. Now all of them have been displaced. The Defence Ministry has taken over this area and they are planning to build a hotel complex here. A Navy camp is also to be built here. They began this operation on the pretext of building a runaway village, but the real purpose of taking over this entire area is the construction of a hotel complex. This is very unfair and unfortunate.
2 vessels carrying vehicles sailed to the Hambantota Magampur Mahinda Rajapaksa port today. Incidentally, this is the second vessel to have called at the port after the commencement of a vehicle transshipment operations.
The vessels had set sail from Japan. Deputy Operations Manager at the Hambantota port, Nimal Jathis, said that 2 more vessels are due tomorrow. He noted that the vehicles that are brought on these vessels are for re-export. 2 of the largest ships have sailed to the Hambantota port. Unloading activities are being carried out. Re-export activities of 2,600 vehicles that were brought here by these 2 vessels and another 2 vessels which are due will be carried out from this port.
Still in local news, the trade union action, which was launched by doctors, nurses and minor staff of the Angoda-based hospital, has concluded. Now, according to specialist Dr. Ananda Vijay Vikrama, the hospital staff called in sick today in protest over the actions of the hospital administrator.
A large number of patients were highly inconvenienced by the trade union action.
Today is the day the clinic is held for diabetes, so they are saying that they will not provide medicine. We are left without medicine. My husband and I obtained medicine from here. There was no way to obtain medicine today. If we are to obtain medicine from pharmacies, we have to incur a large cost.
Director General of Health Dr. Ajit Mendes stated that the trade union action was called off following a meeting that was held between the hospital administrator and hospital staff.
Many people have commented on this trade union action through our website www.newsfirst.lk. Here are a few comments.
Eslon Lanka Private Limited has moved to a new building down TB Jayamauta in Colombo 10. The proprietor of the Ratnapura City Electricals was the first customer and received a commemorative plaque. The commemorative plaque was presented by the promotions manager of Eslon Lanka Private Limited, Tuan Zakidin and Hemanta Senaviratna.
The Pathfinder Foundation says that if funds of the Employees Provident Fund are to be invested in the stock market, it should be done through a separate unit run by a professional. The foundation points out that this would address issues relating to conflict of interest that arise from the central bank not only administering the EPF but also regulating financial institutions.
The Pathfinder Foundation points out that social security funds making investments in stock markets is a common practice in other countries. They point out that it helps in building the capital market and it also provides high returns to the members of the relevant funds.
There has been quite a bit of controversy recently regarding investing EPF in the Colombo Stock Exchange. However, there are favorable arguments for such investments. And the Pathfinder Foundation suggests 3 safeguards which should be introduced. Number 1 is that the current guidelines used to invest EPF in the Colombo stock market be made transparent and available to the public. 2, that a separate unit run by investment professionals separate from the central bank be established to undertake such investments. And this will also address issues concerning conflict of interest. Thirdly, that EPF should be a passive investor that does not seek a presence in boards of private companies. This will also serve to address confidence-related concerns that have arisen regarding the government's involvement in running of private companies.
The Pathfinder Foundation states that the EPF should be a passive investor that does not seek a presence in boards of private companies, and if not, it could affect investor confidence.
An armed gang abducts a suspect in the custody of prison officials outside court. Tomorrow marks 5 months since the abduction of the prisoner.
You're watching Primetime News on MTV Sports. Before we move on to more local news, today marks day 6 of the Champions Torch Relay from the north to the south, which seeks to unearth budding young sportsmen and women in Sri Lanka. Now, the primary aim of the Champions Torch Relay, which is organized by MTV and NBC networks, is to recognize the youth who are trying to make their mark in the local and international sporting arena. The Champions Torch Relay is organized in collaboration with the National Youth Services Council and the Sri Lanka Federation of Youth Clubs.
Superintendent of Police in charge of the Negombo Police Division, Chandana Galapatti, led the Champions Torch before it commenced its journey from Negombo this morning. Mayor of the Negombo Municipal Council, Anthony Jayavira, was also present at the occasion. Today's relay kicked off from Negombo when the OIC of Negombo Police Division, Chandana Galapatti, handed the torch to young athlete Danushka Ashen Fernando. The torch, which then reached Daluva Kotua, was given a warm welcome by the students of St. Anne's College, Daluva Kotua. The torch relay was then carried for a short distance by some local athletes when it reached the Waikal area in Venapua. The torch bearers were then given a warm welcome by the students of the Dankotua Girls' School. The torch was then greeted by the staff members of the Dankotua Divisional Secretariat. The torch was later given a warm welcome by the students of the Vakada Mahavidyalaya when it reached Venapua. Students of the Pannala College then gathered to welcome the torch bearers. Danushka Shen Fernando, who carried the torch from Negombo, handed it to KD Tilnaviraj near the Pannala Mahavidyalaya. He was the winner of the walk-in event at the 2010 National Junior Championships, winner at the John Tarbert meet in 2010, and winner of the Under-20 category at the National Youth Championships in 2011. Tilna has participated in several national junior tournaments and also participated in the 15th Asian Athletic Championship in 2012. The Champions Torch, which reached Bopitiya, was welcomed by students of the Bopitiya Siriparakum Vidyalaya. The Champions Torch received a warm welcome in Giriulla by students of the Giriulla Vikramashila Central College. This is the manner in which students of the Dambadeniya Central College welcomed the Champions Torch. Officials of the Kulyapitiya East Divisional Secretariat also welcomed the group carrying the Champions Torch. The Champions Torch relay was then welcomed by students of the Nakawata National School and the Mahinda Central College. The group carrying the Champions Torch then reached Kulyapitiya with a police escort. The Champions Torch received a warm welcome in Kulyapitiya, which marked the end of day 6 of the Champions Torch relay. Members of the Young Lions Cricket Club, which won the Sirius FM cricket tournament for the year 2011-2012, carried the torch through the town. This is an endeavour carried out to enhance the skills and the rural youth and take talented sports personalities in the country to the international level. I thank MTV and NBC networks because they always do something new. As the first citizen in Negombo, I convey my wishes to the MTV and NBC networks for their endeavour to promote budding young sports personalities. This attempt by MTV and NBC networks to introduce the youth champions to the country is indeed a laudable service rendered to the country.
The champions toss today will travel from Kuliyapitiya to Kurunegala on day 7 tomorrow. Minister of Public Coordination and Public Affairs Mervyn Silva says that members of the Kelaniya Pradeshiya Sabha who work against him will not be given the opportunity to contest at any future election. The minister expressed his view while touring Kelaniya this morning.
When I came here, the chairman wore rubber slippers. Now he wears shoes. The individual who was appointed as the deputy chairman remains in hiding as he has drug cases. They attempted to rape girls. However, I took them onto the correct path. Had obtained money from women promising them that they will be sent abroad. I cleared those cases. Every individual who acted against me are corrupt personalities. They obtained votes under my name and I spent for them. It was I who gave them nominations. I would like to say openly that I will not give them nominations hereafter. They need to respect the leader. Minister of Public Coordination and Public Affairs Mervyn Silva visited the house of DG Hansani, who was a member of the 4x400 meters relay team that clinched a silver medal at the Asian Junior Athletic Championship. The minister promised that he will assist in the future education activities of the student.
And in sports news, first up we have some cricket. Sri Lanka registered its first test series win since August 2009 when they drew the third and final test against Pakistan at the Pallekele International Stadium in Kandy today to claim a 1-0 series victory. Sri Lanka beat Pakistan in the first test and draws in the remaining 2 games handed the hosts their first test series victory since the retirement of spin great Muthaiya Muralidharan.
First innings for 226 runs and Sri Lanka in reply were bowled out in their first innings for 337. The visitors resumed batting in their second innings today on an overnight score of 299 for 8. Asad Shafiq, who resumed batting on 55, went on to score his second test century while Adnan Akmal contributed 35. Pakistan added 81 runs to their overnight score without losing a wicket, taking their innings total to 380 for 8 when the declaration came, setting Sri Lanka a target of 270. Chasing 270, Sri Lanka looked set for victory as Dinesh Chandimal and Tharanga Paranavithana steered the hosts with some aggressive batting. Paranavithana was the first to fall as he was undone for 22. Dinesh Chandimal's dismissal for a well-made 65 at the stroke of tea slowed down Sri Lanka considerably despite Sangakkara's efforts at the other end. Kumar Sangakkara was unbeaten on 74 and Angelo Matthews was not out on 1 as Sri Lanka finished on 195 for 5 at stumps, resulting in the match ending in a draw and a 1-0 series win for Sri Lanka. Asad Shafiq was named man of the match and Kumar Sangakkara was adjudged the man of the series.
The presentation, Mahela Jayawardena will receive the Mobiling Jazz Test Series trophy for winning the series against Pakistan.
And that's a wrap of your Primetime News Bulletin. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with us. But do remember, if you want to read up on any of the stories that we had tonight, you can always log on to our website at www.newsfirst.lk, or you can also like us on Facebook. And for any news bulletins that you've missed, you can simply log on to our News First International channel on youtube.com. Wishing you a very pleasant evening. I'm Nadeem Majid.
And I'm Krishna Panitharatna. Good night.